Steel City. Is everybody ready to go? Let's proclaim the greatest radio show.
Welcome, fans, to the most exciting episode of The Spread that I've had to do in a long time. It is the return, the one and only Johnny Parlay.
Back.
Where is the clapping sound? 47, you dropped it. There it is. Slow clap. We're going to do our 3 and Out segment for you. We also got Dash and 47 in studio if anybody cares. I really don't. This is week 2 of the 3 and Out. Last week, what did we talk about? Adrian Peterson, Roger Goodell, and a bunch of dudes who were broke. This week, we're going to talk about some franchise quarterbacks, young and old. We're going to talk about some teams that are having bad starts that were supposed to be good. And then we're going to talk about the NFC East because it looks like every team in that division is going to be garbage. But we're going to get it started with the franchise quarterbacks. Dash, you actually kind of mentioned this to me the other day, and this is what sparked my interest in this. Who is going to be the next group of young franchise quarterbacks? The guys we got now are pretty old. You got Brady, Manning, Breeze. They're all over 35 years old. Those are the ones who are considered the most elite. Aaron Rodgers, he's a little bit younger. Then the second tier for most people, you got Big Ben, Eli Manning, Phillip Rivers, Tony Romo. Tony Romo's 35. He's got a broken freaking arm. Eli looks like he's already garbage. Big Ben
Eli had a good week last week. Don't call him garbage. Eli's still the man.
2-time champ, Eli.
You're right, Parlay. He is a 2-time champ, and his team's just kind of garbage, so
right.
it's not his fault.
He may look like he's 18, but he might have another Super Bowl in him, to tell you the truth. I mean, that guy, he's a winner.
Tom Brady said he could play, another 7 years in one of those leaked messages from Deflategate or whatever gate scandal it was.
Yeah, I hope that message was from 5 years ago.
Yeah, he said Manning, he had no shot, and Brady was going to be way better because Manning only had 2 years left, and Brady could play like 7 to 10 more. There's no way.
7 to 10. I don't think he said 7 to 10.
No way Brady's playing into his 40s. F him. He's garbage.
Into his well, he'll play at 40, 41 maybe, but he's talking about 45 years old if that message is correct.
47. How old were you when you quit playing baseball?
I just pretty much quit right after high school.
He still plays. Don't let him fool you.
Well, what do you think, 47? Who do you say is the next young crop of QBs? Is Big Ben still considered young at 33?
Well, keep this in mind. Russell Wilson became the youngest quarterback to ever win a Super Bowl.
Russell Wilson was garbage.
Oh,
yeah, but
Jeez.
He gets the job done, and actually, quite frankly, I think he's going to take this next group in.
He's pretty much on the same path as Ben Roethlisberger was at that age, man. It's a little bit different, but they're on the same path. They both won Super Bowls in their second year, correct?
Yeah.
And they both made it to 2 Super Bowls pretty earlier in their career.
Yeah.
I know Ben won his first 2 and then lost, and Russell Wilson lost his second one.
And he's never going to get back.
He'll be back. Jack.
I mean, there's a couple...
He could get back. He has a long time to get back one time.
I can't believe Rodgers is only 31. It seems like that guy's been winning for a long time. But 31...
And he sat on the bench for like 5 years.
He had a good teacher.
That's the same age as Parlay. I mean, 31.
Yeah.
Jeez. He's almost accomplished as much as me, but hey,
yeah.
I guess he got some years left.
He's got some big shoes to fill there.
That's right.
But you're right. I mean, all the best quarterbacks are older, especially, I mean, if you're looking at Manning and Brady, they're both probably the oldest out of any of these.
Breeze has got a beat shoulder now.
And then you look at some of these younger guys. I agree with 47. Russell Wilson is the man. But then some of these other guys, I mean, you got your Derek Carrs, Colin Kaepernick maybe.
Nah.
Yeah, I'm not feeling either one of those.
I'm big on Ryan Tannehill.
I like Tannehill too. How old is he?
Tannehill, he's been in the league 4 years, I think.
He's like 25 or 26, maybe.
So he's
still young. He can grow.
I see him as mediocre.
Yeah, he has the size to do it. And that's what made Ben Roethlisberger more NFL ready compared to Rivers and Manning. Not that they didn't play well, but when you're a bigger guy like that, that just gives you a little bit of help right away. And I don't know, they've put in the team around Tannehill, so I think now is when he's going to show it. He just got a new deal. He's got Jarvis Landry, Kenny Stills. What's the tight end? Jordan Cameron.
Right.
What's that running back you just told me to pick up?
Damian Williams.
No, Rashard Williams, wasn't it?
Although, that was a wide receiver, Rashard Matthews.
Oh, yeah, I don't know, somebody.
What a fantasy owner here. I'll tell you who the real next truth is. It's Blake Bortles, man. The guy doesn't make mistakes. He's surrounded by a young team. And, I mean, Jacksonville, you think of Jacksonville, you don't actually think of the mecca of football But, I mean, he makes good decisions. And for a young quarterback, that's pretty important. I think everything else will come with age.
He's not dating Lindsey Duke, so you may want to change that opinion.
He may have said, I can do better than that. Now, if that guy thinks he can do better than that, then imagine what he thinks about his football game. That's a confident dude right there.
You better believe it. I guess you got to be confident to play quarterback in the NFL.
Especially for the Jaguars.
Obviously, you got Mariota and Winston, too. Are any one of those going to be franchise quarterbacks in the end?
Well, Mariota's looked okay his first 2 weeks.
I like that kid. I like him more than
Winston played well last week
yes,
as
he
well.
Did. Yes, he
I think
did.
if you put a team around either one, they could be good quarterbacks. They're both a little bit different in style. Mariota moves around a little more. Winston's kind of the big old fatso that stands back there.
Well,
he reminds me a lot of Dante Culpepper.
Yeah, I hear you on that.
When I look at Mariota, though, look at these quarterbacks we just said that are franchise quarterbacks that are older. Who is like Mariota? I just don't see it there. You know what I mean? Maybe Rodgers a little bit, but Rodgers don't run nearly as much as Mariota.
You mean who's like him that's older?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's why I don't see him as a long-term, like in his 30s, being a good quarterback.
Right, well, that's why I don't think Russell Wilson's going to be able to sustain his play because he moves around too much.
There's just something about Russell Wilson. I think he can get it done in many ways. They got to put receivers around Russell Wilson, too.
What about Joe Flacco and Matt Ryan? They're a little bit older in this group of young guys. They're on the cusp of becoming great. Can either one of those do it? I know Flacco's already got the Super Bowl.
Well, Ryan certainly has the offensive weapons to do it.
I mean, yeah, he had a big year and whatnot, but you look at these guys, if you're talking elite, I'm going to say no, but if you're talking franchise quarterbacks, I think that's pretty much what they are.
It's a great thing to have a Matt Ryan, but he just never comes through in the clutch, it seems. He always makes mistakes. He's sort of like Jay Cutler, a little bit better.
Yeah.
He just never
Apparently
gets to
Jay
the promised land.
Damn. Atlanta fans are probably pissed right now.
Bring it, Atlanta. Bring
but look,
it.
One thing
Seek
Atlanta
care
could
of
do.
Johnny Parlay, Rilton Road.
One thing Atlanta could do is put a better defense out there for him too, and I think a lot of people would see Matt Ryan in a different light when he's winning because they need a defense out there to win. It's just not going to happen with that offense.
Is Cam Newton elite yet?
Nah, I'm not going to say he's elite.
I think he would have been with Kelvin Benjamin, but
I want to know what happened to Matt Stafford because it's almost like he came out of the gate firing, and now he's on a steady decline.
Came out on the gate on the fucking gurney.
Yeah, I don't know. He has Calvin Johnson all out there. All he's got to do is chuck the ball up into the air, and he should be good.
For some reason, I still think Matt Stafford can be one of those guys, though. I still think he can turn into one of those elite quarterbacks.
I agree, J-Dash. I think he's got tons of ability, but
look
they
at all
just
the
don't get it
weapons
done.
he has. I don't understand how he can't throw for 30 touchdowns throwing to Calvin Johnson.
I don't know. He's no Jay Cutler. Please.
What about our boy, Terry Bridgewater?
Terry Bridgewater?
I mean, we do know his name's Teddy, just so everybody knows, but we've aptly renamed him Terry. Is he going to be elite?
I don't see it.
No?
I mean,
Parlay
I like
hates
him.
I like Teddy Bridgewater.
Did I ever say hate? I don't hate the guy. I don't know the guy. I mean, I don't hate him, but I don't think he's that great.
I could feel the hate from here.
It's hard to
coming through the glass.
It's hard to root for a team that wears purple. That's all I gotta say.
Pirates should wear purple.
Well, I mean,
you should wear purple.
We said out of the quarterbacks out of his draft class that he was probably the best one, but I tell you what, Derek Carr looked pretty good last week, and I know we hate Derek Carr around here.
Womp.
Besides Johnny Parlay, he doesn't know him, so he doesn't hate him.
Yeah.
I don't know him personally, no, but we had lunch once, and he was civil, so I can't say hate. I mean, he didn't pick up the check, and he's making a little more than Parlay.
Yeah,
but
see?
Either way,
That's a good reason to hate the dude. Did he leave a tip?
He did 18%. I mean, Parlay goes 20 because Parlay's a man of the people. But I don't know, Derek 18% Carr. I don't know, man. He's off to a great start, but we'll see where he finishes.
Amari Cooper's not even gonna be able to finish the year. People are blasting his head off of helmets, so he ain't gonna have nobody to throw to.
Who didn't we mention? One guy, Johnny Football.
I don't.
Yeah. Really?
All right, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, who cares about Johnny Football? I don't think anybody listening to this show actually thinks he's any good.
It's gonna be Johnny Bananas.
I'm sure someone loves that guy, man.
Yeah, not listening to this show.
I bet he's got decent jersey sales. Probably top 10%.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Dude's garbage. let's move on. Our second segment in 3 and Out. We're going to talk about some teams that have come off some bad starts, teams that had high expectations. Some of these teams had Super Bowl expectations. The Indianapolis Colts were the Super Bowl pick for a lot of people coming into this year. They started 0-2. The New Orleans Saints, they had a shot at winning their division at least, considering an under 500 team won it last year. They're 0-2. You got the Seattle Seahawks, 0-2. Philadelphia, Baltimore, New York Giants. Parlay, what's up with all these 0-2 teams?
All I keep seeing, and I don't know if it's something that someone jumped on this year, but I've been seeing this stat all over SportsCenter, all over the scroll, that 0-2 teams, like, their percent to make the playoffs is, like, terrible.
Yeah, it's like 30% or something.
And I don't know. I mean,
But
Indy looks pitiful.
the Colts went 0-2 last year and made it to the AFC Championship game.
Well, they better turn it around if they want to do that again, because they look just absolutely terrible. They're not protecting Luck, and Luck looks out of sorts. I don't know.
He looks very uncomfortable.
But I mean, the Saints, I don't think their time in the spotlight is gone. I don't think they have the weapons anymore. They look terrible. I don't know.
People said the Steelers' defense got old. I think the Saints' offense got old real quick.
Well,
their defense is really nothing spectacular either.
Yeah, it's garbage.
So that they were, I think they're done. As far as Philly, I know you're a Bradford hater.
Yeah,
and
he's
I don't know how
garbage.
you hate him. I know you never had lunch with him, but I think they got.
We
the
Skyped
tools.
once, and he wasn't very kind to me.
They got. How can you go wrong with DeMarco Murray in the backfield?
Well,
Bradford,
he got a solid 9
decent
yards the other night.
quarterback. Hey, it's early. It's early, bro. Leading rusher last year.
I tell you what, though, man, Philly's, it's not DeMarco Murray's fault. It's Philly's
Chip
offensive
Kelly.
line. Their
yeah.
offensive line looks completely horrible. Now, LaShawn McCoy didn't have a huge year last year in Philly, and we said it was about the line, but the line looks a lot worse this season with DeMarco Murray running the ball.
Do you remember the bet? We didn't bet anything. We just bet each other that I thought McCoy would have a better year, and you thought Murray would have a better year. It's looking like I'm going to be right on that one, son.
Well, how
2
about
games.
your Gore bet?
What, Frank
Do
Gore?
you
was
still think Frank Gore's
over 1,000 yards?
He may not touch the ball again after last night. Fumbling on the goal line.
Woo.
Terrible.
It's brutal.
For these 0-2 teams, I think Philly's got the best shot to turn it around.
Better than Seattle?
Yeah, I do. I just think they play in a tough division, and they just won't have it.
47, you think Cam Chancellor being out is really affecting the Legion of Boom?
Absolutely.
I think so, too.
Is he the real version of the Legion of Boom, and Richard Sherman just a little biatch who sucks off his
not
teeth?
like that.
Hey, now.
Oh, no. I mean, they're both kind of tough, but I'll tell you what, I'd take Chancellor over Richard Sherman.
Believe it. Everybody wants Pittsburgh to trade for Chancellor. First of all, it's not going to happen. Second of all, it's not going to happen. So
Yeah, the Steelers don't like secondary. They're not fans of a good secondary.
Nope. No, we put the most garbage people back there and see if we can try to survive. It's like a game.
The thing about you got the Giants on this 0-2 list, and the Giants lost both their games in the last 30 seconds.
Well, they blew 10-point leads in those games. That's why I put them on this list. Because for you to blow a 10-point lead in 2 straight games, you got to suck.
Well, I still think they're not a bad team. I just think they got beat late. And
I completely agree. I think the Giants, we came into the season saying the Giants were going to be a better team this season, and I still believe it. No doubt.
It'd be nice to put a running back down there.
Well, listen, Victor Cruz may miss one more game. When he comes back, I think that dude's still going to be good. And when they
I might have to pick him back
ODB
up.
and Victor
That's
Cruz
right.
are both out there
late,
for
buddy.
Eli Manning, they can
Did you
do
pick
big
him up?
things.
It's all right. I got Des Bryant for the playoffs. Might be a different league. I can't keep track.
Des Bryant, he's going to get little flailing ducks from Brandon Whedon.
Probably.
Good luck
Who
with
else
that.
is 0-2? Is there anyone we didn't mention?
Nope, that was it.
Baltimore.
Baltimore. Oh, well, they're garbage.
Yeah, see you later,
Oh,
Baltimore.
name the teams again.
Indy, New Orleans, Philadelphia, Seattle, Baltimore, and the Giants. Out of those teams, Dash, who has the best chance to turn it around?
I like Indy and the Giants to both turn it around.
47?
I agree with Dash. I like Indy and the Giants.
Parlay, you already said.
Well, these guys, I don't know if
Philly.
they didn't understand the question. I think you said which team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody listens to me around here.
I'll pick half the list, and maybe I'll be right, too. Nah, I'm going Philly, baby.
I think Seattle's going to, just because they got the run game, they got the defense. They're going to bring Chancellor back. If they have one more bad week on defense, that front office will cave. They'll give them the money. They'll figure out a way to do it. They don't want to waste this opportunity that they have. The division's getting better in a hurry. Arizona's getting better. They can't risk not being in contention now. You really can't go 0-3, 0-4. That would just cripple them.
The crippler.
All right, move on. We're going to talk about the NFC East now. Cowboys 2-0, Giants 0-2, Philly 0-2, Washington 1-1. What's going on here? Dallas might be 2-0, but they got no Tony Romo.
No Tony Romo, no Des Bryant.
No Tony Romo might be a good thing for them. I don't know.
Well, look, Brandon Weeden was, 9 for 9 at one point, I remember in that game, but still, no Tony Romo. That can't be good. Like you said, no Des Bryant. That really hurts. And let's not forget, coming into the season, they got rid of DeMarco Murray. Their backfield's still a question right now, so I'm not real sure about Dallas, but their defense is still pretty good. You've seen it the first 2 weeks. Dallas defense looks like they're running all over the field.
I read an article this morning that said if Weeden would have went down, Jason Garrett would have went with a Joseph Randall, Darren McFadden at quarterback combination and just ran the Wildcat the rest of the game.
Go deep to Lance Dunbar.
That would have been hilarious. I don't know. I'm not too surprised that the Giants are 0-2. I wasn't huge on them coming into the year. They could have a good season. It's always their defense is hit or miss, like year to year. Are they going to be good? Are they not going to be good?
I don't think they're going to be good, but I think they'll be good enough to at least stay in this division.
It's surprising to me that Washington's 1-1. I figured they'd be 0-7 by week 2. They're so bad.
I tell you what, their defense looked pretty good so far, though.
Kirk Cousins, is he your quarterback 47 on your fantasy team?
No.
I thought you drafted him with your first pick.
He drafted Kirk Uncles.
Kirk Uncles.
Look, through 2 games, the Washington Redskins let up 27 points, so their defense looks real good right now. It's all about, is Kirk Cousins going to be able to lead this team consistently and put up at least 20 points a game, I would say.
Well, who's that running back? Matt Jones? Is that his name?
Matt Jones.
Matt Jones. He's running wild, brother. Stealing carries from Alfred Morris.
Yeah, they pretty much split time last week, but Matt Jones actually touched the ball more. So it looks
that seems like a personal problem that we don't really need to be talking about on this show.
But it looks like Matt Jones may be the better running back out of those two moving forward. We'll have to see, though. Who else is there? Dallas. We talked about Washington, the Giants. You said you don't like. We like them around here. And Philly, yeah. I mean, their offense is a mess right now. Bradford, I've seen him throwing the ball into the ground. Nelson Aguilar is running down the field wide open the entire game. And Bradford doesn't even look at him. Their offensive line is terrible, obviously. And until they fix that, I mean, any other problem, if they fix it or not, they're still not going to be good. They got to fix the offensive line first.
It's not going to happen. I mean, it's not like you can just go out and get new players. There's nobody out there to get.
You can start playing better, though. You can start playing better.
But Chip Kelly just manipulated that roster in ways that he thought was genius, and he has them all drinking smoothies out there. Well, maybe your offensive linemen shouldn't be drinking smoothies. They should be drinking bacon fat and raw eggs, okay? They should weigh 350 pounds, and they should maul over the guy in front of you. They're not supposed to be able to do backflips in that Ninja Warrior show that you see on TV. He's got it all screwed up. That sports science crap only goes so far. He's ruined Philadelphia's roster. Sorry, Parlay. I wish I had 2 more hands so I could give the Eagles 4 thumbs down.
I wouldn't say ruin the roster. Maybe he runs the wrong style or whatever, but he still has some talent out there to work with. Maybe he just can't put it together. Maybe he does.
Why'd they cut Evan Mathis if their line's so bad?
Well, I'm not saying they're a good team or a bad team, man. I'm just saying you said they ruined the roster.
I'm saying Chip Kelly ruined the roster. When they gave him GM responsibilities and power, he just started shredding the roster. And
when I look out there, though, man, there's still some good players out there.
Not as good as there were.
I mean, if you give them Bill Belichick or Mike Tomlin or something, I bet you they're a better team.
Mike Tomlin would screw up with timeouts and time management, and then he would let James Harrison play till he was 55 years old.
Well, all right.
Who's going to win the division?
Exactly.
That's it. Parlay, you're first.
I'm telling you, I'm feeling Philly, man.
All right.
Philly.
What's their record going to be?
I will say here, no, you sprung this one on me, but I'll say, I'm going to say 10-6 wins that division.
47, what do you think?
I'm liking New York. I think they're going to overcome the 0-2 start. Eli Manning had a great game last week. I think he's going to continue to get better.
Yeah, I think Eli Manning is hands down the best quarterback in that division.
Please believe.
Well, the defenses, I think, there's nowhere to go but up for their defense. And once he gets Cruz back, and then you got Donnell at tight end, I think, I just like the Giants. I think they're going to win it at 9-7, though. I think his division's going to be tight.
Yeah, who knows? It might be a 7-9 victory for the division winner. But I'm going to go with you, 47, and say the Giants.
What's the record going to be?
7-9.
I'm going
7-9.
I think the Cowboys are going to eke it out at 9-7. I think Brandon Weeden can keep the ship afloat just a little bit, and I just really don't think anybody else is that good. Eli's definitely the better quarterback and the better offense, but I'm not sold on the Giants' defense. And when you're trying to win close games and squeak out victories, you need to have a good defense.
Cowboys, you always like the Cowboys.
Never, actually. I hate them.
I seen your boxers sticking up out of your jeans. And they had a big Texas star on.
I thought that was a picture of your mom.
He has a Troy.
Whoa, Mama Parlay. Don't be dropping Mama Parlay's name on this.
Well, that's it. That's the end of Johnny Parlay's return for this episode. Stay tuned for the next episode because I think I'm going to keep him in studio for at least another hour. Fans, if you got anything you want to tell us, hit us up on Twitter at bet_the_spread. You can hit me up on Twitter at betjimthewin. Check out the Facebook page at facebook.com/betthespread. Keep coming back to YouTube. Click subscribe. Click thumbs up. Click thumbs down. Facebook's giving a dislike button. Why shouldn't YouTube?